Hey everybody, well guess what, we're back. We're back to focus in on this guy, my HP Slimline with a Pentium. Dual core, not bad actually. You know, you just can't take like the name Pentium and think, oh, it's old, when you start to see what it has to offer. It's a S5-1234. That almost sounds like they just made it up on the spur of the moment, doesn't it? Anyway, it's a premier experience, and no optical drive, but look at all that ventilation going on in there. Funny thing about this, I happen to notice like there's a chip, I think it's a graphics chip even, and I was thinking, how hot is that going to get? Because it doesn't even have a heat sink on it. Well, we're going to be taking a look at all that in a minute and seeing how this thing does manage with its cooling and things like that. And of course, it is that time of year for eggnog. I picked up some really good organic eggnog, grass-fed eggnog, I don't know. Anyway, it's quite good. So let's, without any further ado, let's get into what this thing has to offer us inside. Pentium inside. What's inside the system? We saw the insides of the system, but now we get to look at the specs. So here's the CPU info, and I'm noticing a lot of instruction sets, which is great, which tells me it's 2012-ish, 2011, 2012. 2 cores, 2 threads. You know, this is one of those Pentiums that is really worth having. I mean, it's a 32 nanometer process, so it's a bit bigger, but it's a Sandy Bridge, and yeah, not bad at all. It's a Foxconn motherboard, Intel based. It's got 2012 BIOS. The latest version is 7.16. I have updated it. I don't usually do that, but I did it this time around because I just wanted to give it the best chance. And I also understood that there was a problem with this thing freezing up, so I just added that aspect, that extra. All right, so this is the RAM. It's running at 666, which is great, dual. It has 6 gigabytes, which is an interesting configuration, but I'll take it. 2 from 2011, and I think this is the Samsung one that we looked at earlier. It's running at the maximum, which is awesome. And this is the 4. This is the Micron, running at 2012, and it's running at the max, so that's awesome. Graphics are HD family graphics, whatever that means. Sandy Bridge. Graphicals. We'll look at something that gives us better information on that right down here. So if we actually go to the Windows adapter information, here it is. Not much more, but it does tell us that it has dedicated 64. It shares the system memory, giving it about 1.7 gigabytes, somewhere in that range. It's running at 16 by 900. And what I like to do is look at the Windows info. One of the things we always want to check is, does it have all the drivers? It does, and particularly it has the Intel HD graphics. It's not even telling us what version that is, which is interesting. So we'll see where that takes us. It did score a 4.6, and when we look at it, yeah, of course the processor is like running great, and so that's why when I say Pentium, don't underestimate it. It's running at a very good high rate. Memory is running perfectly high. I mean, the highest rate you can get is 7.9. It's getting a 7.5. This is getting a 6.7. Those are very good scores for Windows 7 for the time. Of course, Intel, you can always have the lowest scores are the graphics, but even them are kind of mid-range. We'll see how it does in the benchmark test. Let's take a look at, before we do the summary, well, let's do the summary. Summary tells us it's running Windows 7, 64-bit, which I installed personally myself. There's that Intel G840 running at 2.8, which I love. The higher gigahertz. It's running fairly cool. There's the RAM, great. There's the motherboard, running cool. Graphics, not telling us anything about the temperature. And there's the hard drive, which I had to install myself because it was missing when I got this system. Oh, excuse me. No optical, because yeah, they took it out when they donated it to the old thrift store. I don't really care about that much, not very much. Realtek high definition audio, pretty much a standard for the time, and even now I believe. Here we go. It's got a 320 gigabyte hard drive, which I salvaged from somewhere, I can't remember. I got a lot of these drives kicking around, so it's good that if you're going to take something out of a system like this, take the hard drive out. I got 10 of them, 20 of them, I don't know. It's only got 50 days usage, which is great. Technically a little under 58 days usage. I love it. Yeah, not very many power on counts either. Everything's running good, temperature's good. Smart checks out. It's basically pretty much a brand new drive. So, yay. And of course, that brings us to this guy here, which is our NovaBench. Let's get the read on this. I'm interested in this. And of course, I'm still running my Asus display because I've just been lazy about changing it up. I do have an HP display, excuse me, which would be much more appropriate for this system, but I was more interested in just installing the hard drive when I opened it up and discovered I hadn't really refurbished it yet. Let's see what we got in here going on. Oh yeah, so 72, that's not bad. Yeah, anything above 50 to me for this age of system, I'll take it. And it's got a shader, so didn't get the 50% discount on that. So let's see what we're gonna get here. My nose is a bit runny today. The forced air does this to me. Yeah, so for 64, kind of like, yeah, for 2011, 2012, I'll take that. The last couple systems I've been looking at are kind of, they're lucky to be pushing 300 or 400, getting even close to 400. This is well into the 400s. I like what I'm seeing with the where am I here? RAM. I like the RAM. I like the CPU score. For it's a Pentium. That's what they're calling this thing. It's a Pentium. So you're thinking, Pentium old, and who cares? Like, really, you're really going low when you go Pentium. You're not even getting like a Core 2 Duo. But the funny thing is, it's got a dual core. So it's actually a damn good budget processor. Okay, so there's your graphics, 67 frames. I'll take that for this type of system. And hardware is, yeah, very decent as well. So overall, a strong system for what it is. You got to understand when you look at a system like this, that you have to judge it based on what it really is. And this system is for home users. This is not meant for corporate North America, I guess. It's not meant to be something you're going to run, even like graphics, hardware, gaming, anything like that. This is not what this was intended for. This is intended to be a small unit, really maximize the cooling capacity, very budgety oriented, but at the same time, how do we like deal with like something that's a budget system? Oh, look, it still has the plastic on it. That's funny. Oh, there you go. Brand new button. Look at that. Never been pressed. Anyway, how do we kind of like minimize cost, but not in the wrong direction? Well, I think HP here in this particular case did it, and it even has, it's not just a sticker, it's actually metal in the actual faceplate, which is kind of nice to see. It's not quite as cheap as that Walmart one. Yeah, how do we kind of like minimize the cost but maximize the usability? Well, that was the Pentium dual core of the time period. I have a couple of these systems that have a Pentium dual core, and you know what? They are very capable for what they were. I have nothing bad to say about every Pentium dual core that I ran across during this time period around 2011, 2012, even like 2009. And wherever they were putting in dual core Pentiums, it was like a budgetary measure. But honestly, between that and a Core 2 Duo, I'd take the Pentium really for the cost difference. And yeah, there you go, guys. I don't even know what kind of, how do we want to shoot this? Let's shoot this. How do we want to shoot this? Do we want to, here, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's move this over. I'll bring this over here like this. I put some felt feet on this thing because I didn't like what I was seeing. So how's that? Let's do that. Yeah, that's it. That's going to be our, I'm really pushing myself back here to get the thumbnail here. There you go, guys. That's it. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I had to clean up that mouse. I was gonna use a Corsair Harpoon Pro RGB Pro mouse, but the buttons were kind of funky. So I'm gonna give you a tip. If you have a gaming mouse and it's a used one and you picked it up from like a used thrift shop or whatever, my recommendation is, if it isn't working well, take the mouse, pull up the butt, like you can pull these back a lot of times, and just lift them up a little bit and flush water through, like really, really hot water from your tap through the mouse through here. What it does is it cleans out any gunk in the buttons. Usually they're Omron switches if they're better quality mice. It cleans out the switches and the gunk in there and everything else. And then because it's so hot, it actually steams away the moisture as well. So you kind of like flush it through with really hot water, dump it out, and then let it sit, like really flush it out and really try and get all the water out. Then let it sit like this so that it drains out. And typically, because it's so hot, it actually evaporates really quickly. And leave it overnight, and then try your mouse again. And you know what? I've had a lot of success with that method when I'm dealing with somebody's old beat up, gaming mouse. It's probably got like a ton of who knows what that's gotten in underneath the switches and stuff, because people tend to eat. Food gets into the wheel, and it gets into the, who knows, food gets into things. So my experience has been, you flush that all through. The mice can handle water, actually, believe it or not, pretty well, as long as you don't power them on while they're wet. And you really, really use hot water to make sure it cleans it out and basically evaporates. And then I wouldn't do that with a mechanical keyboard. You'll really screw it up. But mice are pretty good with that. And keep water away from you know, any kind of keyboard you're using. But yeah, so there you go, guys. That's my little 2 cents of advice for you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this thing out. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever really used it. Picked it up. What happens with me, or used to happen with me, because I'm not really thrifting anymore, because I got too many units, as you could tell from my closet of doom there. I have too many computers that I've collected, tech in general, like computers and keyboards and mice and all that sort of stuff. And what it is I got to start using what I got, not collecting what I have, what I can find, because, you know, it's easy to collect. And at a certain point, you got to use what you got. And these are awesome little systems, you know. If you like Windows 7, I mean, heck, you know, you can set up all kinds of stuff on this thing. And if you're someone who's a Linux person, well, you could probably even set up Linux on that. I'm not that person, but, you know, I particularly like these systems for running all kinds of stuff that I like to use. And if you're a Linux user, well, go for it. Get one of these things and go find a Linux distribution and put Linux on it and have fun with that. You know, you could spend days and days tweaking it and finding drivers and all that sort of stuff, and then finding alternative programs to work around all the stuff that you don't have on there anymore. Because I know, like with me, Windows, I just want to use things. Like I remember I was talking to one user out there, or one YouTuber out there rather, who uses Windows, and he goes, yeah, I just want to use Photoshop. I don't want to use GIMP. I don't want to use some other system and learn how to use their system to create graphics. I just want to use Photoshop because I know Photoshop. And I'm that way with Office. I'm that way with a whole bunch of programs that I have collected over the years that I have no alternative program under Linux. So I tend to go with Windows. Don't hate on me because I like Windows. I happen to find a whole bunch of programs that I really like over the years, and that's why I continue to use Windows, particularly Windows 7. Now, it doesn't mean like, okay, so what am I going to do? I can't go online. Yeah, I can go online, but I don't really care about going online on a system like this. It's more about finding programs that I really like from the old days, you know, from 2007, mid 2000s, all the way up to mid 19s, or not 19s, teens, 20 teens. I don't know what do you call that, 2010s, into the teens. Yeah, that's what this is all about. I particularly like systems like these, you know, like they're really, I love the smallness of these things. I stopped picking up, a while ago, I stopped picking up bigger systems, bigger towers, and I loved big towers. I used to, because there's so much space in there to expand them, and they usually had a decent power supply usually. These tend to have tiny power supplies, but the problem is storage. Like these are at least half the size of a tower, a regular tower. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. I can fit 2 of these in the space of one normal size tower. Even this one is a little bigger than I like, but you know, I can live with this. I can't live with any more towers. They're just too big. What I did to make this one more reasonable is I don't know if you can see it. Oh, my goodness, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, you can see it. Felt. I put felt on here. They don't have any kind of footing on these things. They just have like metal and plastic against your poor desktop. So it's like, oh no. I'm gonna put some felt on here. I mean, felt doesn't keep it stable, like in terms of like rubber would, which is probably what it should have. But whatever, it'll keep it from scratching my desk, which is really what I care about. So there you go, guys. That's it. I will let you go. 20 minutes, that's way too long. Anyway, we'll see how this video does. Like I say, I don't really care too much about the numbers, but I just sort of make these videos for fun, as you might know if you follow my channel. And it is a lot of fun to mess around with these systems and resurrect them from the dead. I feel like, what is it, Dexter Ward? Reanimator? Yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah, I'm reanimating corpses, sort of like Frankenstein's monster. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's gonna be the video for this one. I'll update it. I just installed Windows 7 and a bunch of not apps, but a bunch of programs, updates, what are you going to call them? That manually update everything I need to get the normal updating system to go. And then I'll grab my range extender, hook that up. That'll give me internet to install the Windows 7 updates, and it'll just start going like crazy, and update, restart, like a couple of days, and it'll be as good as it gets for Windows 7. And yeah, then I'll install all my standard apps, and I got another system to play around with. And yeah, that's my routine with these systems. Like I said, I'm not really thrifting anymore, so this kind of refurbishing stuff is going to slow down in a big way. But in the meantime, I had a few systems that I picked up, and I just haven't gotten around to giving them a proper refurb. But now I got an opportunity to do that. And what am I using for my peripherals this time around? Well, I mentioned the Ducky. This is really cool. Very high quality keyboard for its time. It's a 10 keyless, so it's missing the key. And there you go. Eastern times, kind of a big mouse with some weights. It's got a little bit of weight to it. I love that. It doesn't move around very easily if you just let it go. It has a little bit of weight to it, and it has indicator lights to show you the DPI you're at. So it's crazy at that DPI, but you can switch it around. I like that arrangement. It's got some programmable keys. It's got a ton of keys on there. Look at that, 4 keys. And another key. Usually this is like a fire key. It's a very gamery thing. It's got a Tesla symbol on it. Because Eastern times, there you go. And it's got like profiles. I guess there's software you can use and everything. It's really something. But what I like about it is for my little hand, and for my, not that big a hand, but decent size hand, it fits me perfectly. Like, it just fits really well. I love that. So good mouse in my estimation. I like it set at about the 2 increment. And this guy, well, let's just lock out Windows. There we go. And we're gonna do a little sound test. Not bad at all, right? I got the...
Make your computer easier to use.
Yeah.
Cancel.
How about we don't make our computer easier to use? Yeah, so, as you can tell, Windows doesn't like that. I switched the spacebar around because that's when I'm typing. Look at the angle of my thumb. It's perfect. That's how I get the best use out of this. For whatever reason, it has the WASD cluster for, I guess, gaming or whatever. But anyway, what I like is the sound of Yeah. Listen to that. Now that is nice, I must say. I mean, honestly.
Make your
Windows. Oh, that's such a great sound. Very dim. And yeah, Ducky, they knew what they were doing when they built these keyboards. This one is a, what is it? Oh, look at this, a metal plate. It's a Ducky something or other. Hang on. Sorry guys. Blackout situation. I just don't have. There we go. What do we got here? Ducky Shines. Is that Ducky Shines 3? Is that what it is? I think so. Made in Taiwan. Got like all kinds of codes and business. It's got dip switches. It's got lots of rubber. And it has a cord that you can disconnect and channel all over the place. That's the difference you'll find with a good quality mechanical keyboard. Some people don't care about them. I do. If, you know, I can pick them up for $10, I will pick them up for $10. They are quite significantly better than a rubber dome keyboard in terms of the quality, and they'll last you a lot longer. Not that that really matters that much, but anyway, I just love the sound. Wow, that is really happened. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, guys, I like it. I like it a lot. So there you go, guys. That's my Ducky, and that's going to be my video, getting close to a half hour. Yeah, I can really stretch this crap out, can't I? But hey, guys, you know, I like my my thrifted small form factor computers, and realistically, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be probably the last type of computer that I ever put into my system is small form factor. Never say never, right? But yeah, big towers, they're just not my thing anymore. They're just too big. This is really kind of like the ideal. You can still put a few things in it. I even like smaller systems, frankly, but you know, when they show up, they show up. Or, you know, laptops are perfectly fine. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, and how are you doing on this wonderful Friday early morning? Hope you're having a great early Friday. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.